This is Drew Jones of Drew's Guitar Shop, and I'm going to show you today how to get bridge pins out of steel string bridges.
These are the tools we'll be using today. I have here a string with a slip knot loop tied at the end. I have a simple string winder slash bridge pin puller. That's the bridge pin puller end. I have a bridge pin puller made by Stu Mac, a simple flathead screwdriver, string cutters, and a flat block. Firstly, I'd like to say that while you have the strings off, it is an excellent time to use some guitar polish and a clean rag to clean your guitar, and also a great time to use some kind of fretboard conditioner, either lemon oil or some kind of store-bought product to condition your fretboard and give it a longer life. Next, I'll show you how to pull these pins. So the first method that I'm going to show you involves this little string and a loop on it. You can see I've already loosened the strings, so we're not going to have any surprise things popping out and hitting us in the eye. So the first step is to take this loop and tighten it around the top of that bridge pin, and then gently pull. And you can see that the bridge pin comes right out. The next I'm going to show you is this store-bought string winder bridge puller. These are not my favorite because they can mar the surface of a bridge, but there's something that you can do about it. You can take a business card. I think that Drew's Guitar Shop brand business cards tend to work the best, but that's just my personal opinion. You take this little cup that they've cut out here for you and slide it right under the throat of that bridge pin. The other reason that I don't like using these is because they don't work very well. But that did get the bridge pin out. The next one I'm going to show you is this Stu Mac bridge pin puller. And just like the other store-bought one, I'm going to make sure that I have something down to protect the bridge. And this just slides right over the top of the bridge pin and does a nice job of pulling it out. The next method is to use something flat. I like using a flathead screwdriver, but you could also use a 6-inch ruler, or basically anything that's stiff and thin enough to get under the head of this bridge pin. You put the edge of that right against the bottom of that head and up against the saddle, and the saddle is what's going to give you leverage to pull the bridge pin out. And get these strings out of the way. The next method is using a string cutter, and most of you will have a string cutter in your guitar bag. Now, you want to be careful with this because you could, if you were being really enthusiastic about it, cut the head of the bridge pin off, but what you're really doing is just closing it enough to get a grip around the bottom of the head and then to leverage it out just like with the screwdriver, except from the other side. This is a really good one to use for really stubborn bridge pins. So like the low A and low E can sometimes give you a lot of problems. The next method I'm going to show you comes from inside the guitar, and you'll be using a flat block of some sort. If you have an acoustic electric, your 9-volt battery would work well for this, or basically anything that's got a nice hard flat surface. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up from the inside and feel around until you feel the bottom of that bridge pin, and it should be pretty obvious to you what the bridge pin is and what everything else is. So go ahead and apply some pressure to the bottom of that bridge pin. And there you go. So I'm sure that there are other methods aside from what I've shown you here to get bridge pins out. But these are 6 methods that I know are safe and won't damage the top of your guitar, won't damage your bridge pins, and won't damage your bridge. And they also involve things that most people have in their guitar bag or around the house. I hope that you found this video helpful and informative, and if you would like, please check out the website at the bottom of the page. There's a link, and check out my other videos. I have lots more like this and lots more on the way. If you happen to find yourself in need of guitar repair and happen to be in Seattle, please give me a call. Drew's Guitar Shop.
Thank you for watching.